Hello everyone, and welcome to the Review in Space podcast, where we talk. I don't know. I'm joined with Kane, and if you haven't read the title, if you can't read,
I can't read.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the audience. So we're doing an audio commentary over the short films, my 12 short films that I've done throughout the year. A little bit of exposition to this. Like this time last year, around I'd say the 10th of December, I gave myself a goal to write, record, and edit and upload one short film every month for a whole year, from December 2017 till the end of November 2018, and now it's been a whole year, and I've uploaded one short film each month. Obviously, some short films are on different channels, which is a bit unprofessional of me. But the links to all of these short films will be in the description, by the way. So if you want to go watch those properly and then come back to this video and watch our commentary on how some of these short films came about and some of the behind the scenes, then go ahead and do that. Go and watch those short films. If you want to watch them in order, if you don't want to watch some and not others, that's fine. If you've only seen 2 or 3 and you haven't watched all of them, that's fine as well. I've obviously got Kane on here because he's helped me out with the majority of these. He's helped me out with 5 out of 12. Hello. So yeah, let's just get started with the first one, which is the Fandom Menace. Like I say, link in the description to all of these short films if you want to watch. Obviously, we'll be playing them visually as we're talking, but if you want to watch them properly in their entirety and all that, then be our guest. You can go do that. So yeah, let's just get. Let's shut up. Let's get into this. So yeah. Okay, so the first short film is the Fandom Menace I did with Joe, and obviously it's meant to be like a little bit of a spoof thingy of Star Wars, obviously. Yeah, what really annoys me about this short film at the moment is the fact that there's so much wind sound, drowning out our dialogue, which is a tiny bit annoying. And that shot right there is very out of focus. Really? Awesome. I love dogs. Yeah. Yeah, we did actually forward plan this short film's production and stuff, but no, of course not. It's Americans doing time travel. It didn't really. Doesn't work. We did plan it. We kind of made a rough script, but we didn't really do it that well. And it was fucking cold when we were filming. Actually, it was absolutely fucking cold. I think this is one of the only short films of the year that I actually used a professional DSLR camera for my short film. And it was actually Joe's, and he brought it with us for the day. Yeah. And the bit where I get hit in the face, that was actually because we'd ran out of time to write the script. We're like, oh, we'll just get Joe to hit him in the face. But yeah. Most of this was actually edited by Joe, funnily enough. I think what happened is that I got all the clips. I think I put all the clips together and then I sent it over to him for him to do like the credits at the start and the visual effects over it. Yeah. And then that last little bit where you see the little fin there, if you see the little fin, that little fin character sliding down the screen, which was a little added touch by Joe, which was a bit funny.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I know, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I can also tell it was made by him.
Yeah, the editing is a lot different in how it's, put together.
Actually, I was talking about the way he wasn't referred to as an official Static Yonder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Lol.
When I saw it said Iceborg and Static Yonder, I was like,
nah.
That ain't right.
Who's Static Yonder? No. Yeah, right, let's move on to the second short film, which is The Game. Which is an interesting one.
My first one, which we
did, yeah. Let's just go straight into it. Just give me a second. I'll just go full screen. Yeah, we actually kind of based this short film around the song called The Game by Disturbed, didn't we? Because we thought it was funny. That was actually my idea to use the song with it, but we kind of
It was my idea on how much of the song we used.
To be honest, we actually didn't really need a script for most of this because most of the script was in the lyrics of the song, wasn't it? Now that I think about it.
I think that was like the idea.
Yeah, is that we don't really need a script because it was a last-minute thing. And funnily enough, this is a production that took place over the span of, I'd say, 6 hours. Would you say? Like 2 hours was filming. Literally, we didn't move from those chairs for like 5-6 hours. It was a snow day as well, wasn't it? That's why we were inside my room. Like, what should we do for the day?
No,
Let's make a film.
Matter of opinion because I'm the better
It makes me laugh though. This one is a short but sweet. I think this is the shortest one that I think this is the shortest film that I've done. I think 1 minute and 42 seconds. I think that's the shortest.
And it took us 2 hours to record, which we found hilarious.
I know, but I think the thing is though is that we had to sync up our mouths with the song so that I could match it up in editing, which is the annoying part of it. But I do find it funny though because we kind of base it slightly off of the humour of our like relationship with gaming, like how you always beat me and I'm always a sore loser, and then it's just like, and then this last bit, I did not want to do this last little bit here, but Kane was like, yeah, this last little bit, because because you didn't understand what the person was saying in the song, in the lyrics. It was like, and we were just like, what the fuck?
That's how Disturbed is.
Yeah,
it's just...
I know, it's just random shit, isn't it? But that's what was funny about it, is because we were like, well, we just started laughing at that part of the song, so we were just like, why not? So I kind of just went fucking crazy.
If you could know the timing, the amount of time we spent on that bit alone.
Yeah. It was a bit sad, to be honest, but yeah.
I mean, at one point there were like bloopers of that.
Oh yeah, I've still got the bloopers on my second channel. If I'll probably put a link to all the short films and all of the bloopers in the description. But oh, that was so funny. It was actually a really fun one to do because we didn't actually do any exercise throughout the whole thing. We just kind of sat there. It's definitely the laziest short film that we've done because we were just sat in those seats for the whole thing and just kind of, you know, just shoved my phone in our faces and just listened to the song over and over. Funnily enough, I didn't actually get sick of that song at all after listening to it that many times that day. I didn't actually get sick of it too much. I probably didn't listen to it for about a month, but I wasn't sick of it.
Now.
Huh?
Like, that's one in particular I don't listen too much.
Really? That's a shame. Because like,
my top 100.
oh damn, really? That's a bit of a shame. That's a shame. I mean, I don't think it was in my top 100 either, but I don't say I dislike it after, you know, listening to it.
In my top 100. Wow, we listened to that many times.
Lol, it was so funny. That was a really fun one to do though. It was really fun. I think this was the first film that I did with this updated Doctor Who like wallpaper background that I had. But anyway, let's move on to the third short film, which was the longest short film had the title for the longest short film for a long while until a different one dismantled it from its throne. But we'll get onto that one later. This the marathon is exactly 7 minutes. I edited it.
I can see that.
Yeah, I didn't intend for it to be exactly 7 minutes, but when I was in editing and I saw that it was already at 6 minutes 30 or whatever, and at the end of the short film I was like, oh, I've got to stretch out these credits to make it exactly 7 minutes because that's awesome. I don't know. So let's just start this film because it's a very long one. But yeah. I think this short film this is the first short film that I do where it has like a proper narrative structure to it, I've got to say. Because I mean, even though it's meant to be...
the game had a narrative structure. What are you talking about?
No, but the idea of it, I wanted to go for a sort of, like, writing-wise and humour-wise, I wanted to go for, like, an Edgar Wright film. Obviously, directing-wise, it's complete shit because the camera angles are not creative or anything.
And you just have him looking directly at the camera.
Yeah, loads of times Morgan just looks directly at the camera. But I tried to get the sort of Edgar Wright humour in here, in this one, because it's meant to be like a horror film sort of vibe to it, as you can hear. It
actually gives me a Shining element.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, with me acting more and more like Jack from The Shining. Yeah. I do like how all the references that I've got in there to Doctor Who and to what was his name, Stanley Kubrick. I think it's a good one. I'm pretty proud of this one. There's a lot of stuff that we could have done better, like the acting and the camera angles, and the lighting was shit.
Yeah.
The lighting and camera quality is shit in this film, I've got to admit.
They all look like tangerines.
Yeah, tangerines. Yeah.
Nobody likes tangerines.
I do love how I do love how
The lighting best is when his head's in the way, look.
Yeah, I know. But I love how well structured the story is. I'm really proud of the structure. If I was to remake this film, I'd definitely use like my DSLR camera that I have now. I didn't have my DSLR camera at the time. The inconsistency of the lighting in this one. In this one, I look pale, and in the other one, I look completely tanned, like bloody orange.
Yeah.
And look at all that visual noise just going around, like all the blacks that are just messing about. In the visually, it's just terrible. I feel like this scene is hilarious though. I should have put some music behind this one though, but it was funny. It was there was loads of takes where we all bursted out into laughing, and even in this shot, I tried not to laugh. It was easier for me because I already had that
I can see your smirk.
No. But the thing is that I already had a sinister grin in the script, so it didn't matter as much if I was smiling.
I can tell you had a sinister grin, but it's like
I'm trying not to start laughing.
Yeah, you're not even looking the same direction, and I know. Like,
yeah, exactly. Oh, and then there's the that's actually a cake bowl, which Morgan pointed out when I was like, "Oh no, we don't have a bucket for the jokes." Where it's like, "I need to go to the toilet." It's like, "No, Morgan, there's a bucket right in front of the telly," but it's like, "Fuck, there's no bucket," so we used a cake bowl. Oh, it's so funny. It's a cake like baking tray thing. It's not like a tin, but yeah, it was absolutely. It looked like
got a cake tin.
Yeah, but it was.
Trust me, my dad made enough cakes. I know.
Yeah, I feel like the lighting in this bit isn't bad, but
it's
the fact that it's inconsistent. I don't like how inconsistent the lighting is. That bit makes me laugh. It's like, there are no bad episodes. I'm really proud of this film actually. Like, at the time I was like, yes, it's the best thing ever. But looking back, there's definitely stuff I could have done better with this short film. I feel like this is the best bit of the short film by far. Like, I love how well I'm pretty proud of the editing in this part of the short film. Like, especially when it comes down to like Morgan's acting's great actually, I've got to be honest. Even though he looks at the camera occasionally in this film, I think it's very humorous, to be honest. It's almost comical, but it's kind of like this bit especially, like where it like gets into the climax and all that. It makes me laugh. This bit is really good. I did laugh when I was editing this, to be honest. But like my acting here makes me laugh too much. You can just see me munching on those jelly babies, and I'm just like, you can't escape. Oh, we were watching the Brain of Morbius. It looks like in the background. It's actually a good film. A good Doctor Who episode. But anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, this bit makes me laugh. I've even got like a little segment where I'm wrapping the scarves around Morgan in the bloopers video, which was funny. And there's that little added joke. That wasn't actually scripted. That bit there with the him knocking the jelly babies over. That was just kind of an added effect because he doesn't like jelly babies. But yeah.
He actually doesn't.
No, he doesn't like the green ones, so I made him eat a green one in the previous scene, and he was like, "Oh no, blah!" Which was funny. Which was pretty humorous, to be honest. I don't think he realised he didn't like the green ones until I made him try one on camera before. But anyway, yeah, this bit's really fun. I really like some of this film. I keep saying that, but there isn't really much to say. We did a lot of this film was actually done in one take, which I've got to admit was a bit silly of me. I should have done more takes so that the camera could like swap like camera angles for certain scenes a bit better, because there's a lot of drawn out clips. This bit's good. This bit is good though. Run! And in the editing, this is the first time that I tried to focus on the framing. So what I did in editing, when he's running away, like the camera's slightly tilted. If you see, I did that in editing to make it seem like it seemed more scary, which was good. I'm quite proud of that. Yeah, it was quite good. And then there's a little inside joke that I don't like, the Underwater Menace and all that, which you decided, and because it's like, why isn't Underwater Menace mentioned at all in this film? And it's like, oh, there it is, there's its cameo. Because every single at the time I was thinking, oh, I've got to make every single Doctor Who related spoof about, like, you know, how shit the Underwater Menace is, or at least it's got to have like a cameo. But that kind of like went out of the window a little bit eventually. But it kind of it has its moments here and there. It's not, the cameos aren't gone forever, because obviously it's been thrown at your head in the TT Institute trailer, didn't it? Speaking of it being thrown at people's heads, oh, that makes me laugh.
I'm the one who gets it the most, but it's
me that it kills, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, you're the origin of it being thrown at people's heads.
Yeah, I know, which is funny. And you know,
I love the way it just cuts off. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
know.
no actual conclusion.
No. Well, the thing is, though,
your stupidity of
at
trying
the time,
push your door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, I kind of had the idea. We had the idea that maybe we could leave it open-ended for a sequel. Now we don't know whether we will, but it'll be an It'll probably open with like a lot of like flashes and a lot of, you know, chase sequences, and it's gonna be interesting. And if I do kind of want to do a sequel to that film, because I've left it in a.
Yeah.
You're right there. Sounded like a nuclear bomb just went off.
Sorry.
Yeah. So. But no, I'm tempted to do a sequel. I don't know if Morgan will still be up for it, but I think it might be an interesting thing to do. I don't know. It might be something cool to do, but I don't know how we would pick it up from where we left off, because I don't have that shirt anymore, and my hair is completely different from how it was then, which is a shame. But I don't know. It'll be cool if we could do like a prequel or a sequel to it. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to short film number 4, which is coincidentally Morgan's second and last short film of the 12, which it kind of starts out as like a documentary style film with him talking directly to the camera. It was meant to be a sort of like a quick explanation to like a little bit of exposition for people who don't really know like all the build up to this short film. So we kind of had that little opening bit there.
Actually, also this one I liked a lot. Like,
yeah,
this is also.
I really like this. I feel like I thought
when you said short films, you're talking about like just the ones that were on the Iceborg thing.
Oh no! It was all 12 of them. No, sir, all 13. No. But anyway, yeah. I feel like this one is a lot.
A good one as well.
This one is a lot more snappier in how it like delivers its story. It's a lot more to the point, which I do like. I always kind of compared this one to the Marathon and was thinking, now this one's better. But I don't know, because I feel like
the silly suspensefulness of the Marathon,
yeah,
but the snappiness in this and that.
Yeah, I think what I did in that shot actually is I gave Morgan lots and lots of shit Doctor Who DVDs and made him hold them. So it was like when he was picking out the Doctor Who episodes to watch.
I know, that's the joke you're about to get to.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, just drop them on the floor, I don't care, those are only the shit ones. So he did, and then he dropped them a second time by accident. But yeah, that was funny. And this is the first Edgar Wright like cut and draw clips that I did. That was the first one I ever did. It was one where he dropped it on the table, opened one of them and put it in the DVD player. And this next shot here makes me laugh every time. The lighting in this one was shit. But when I was filming this, I was so badly trying not to laugh because it was just hilarious to watch, to be honest. Because he was trying to pretend that he was crying and shit, and it was just hilarious. And this one as well. This one's just so funny. Like, Morgan's a good actor, okay? I mean, he looks at the camera a lot, but he's funny. Like, he can act. But yeah. Yeah, and then this next bit, I basically said to him, just chuck them at me, just chuck them as hard as you can, which was funny. And that was just funny.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then it just kind of ends there. It just kind of ends with my confusing face, which is funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
the confused face works. I've worked.
Yeah.
I'm
It
never
does.
gonna watch another Doctor Who episode. I've got nothing to do with it ever again. I'll see you in the next Doctor Who review.
Yeah, I know. It's not even that this time. It's just my confused face. It just kind of ends there.
Yeah.
It was kind of meant to... Well, at the time, I was thinking of making that one as kind of like, well, Morgan's going to watch some classic episodes and he's going to review them with me. That never happened. But it was a good... I did, yeah, but that never came to fruition either, did it? Yeah, I feel like getting back into Doctor Who, I feel like it's very, like... I feel like it doesn't really stand on its own too well. I think you need to know the history of like at least you need to know a little bit about like me and Morgan on the channel. You need to know a bit more about, but I feel like at the same time it kind of just works. Like it doesn't need to be a short film. It can just, you know, I don't know. I feel I quite like it. I really like that one. I'm not sure where it stands in like my favourite to least favourite, but we'll probably work on my list of favourite to least favourite at the end.
Yeah.
But
the
yeah.
review, it's the most difficult because you've got insight on all of these.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
I feel like
that's why when you asked me what are my favourites, I gave you two answers.
and that was like they were both yours,
One's-
weren't they?
No, I said the one nothing to do with me is the marathon, but the
Yeah.
ones to do with me, I can't decide between this one or another one.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about
Because
our
I know
we'll talk about our favourites, you know,
Yeah.
at the end. But anyway, yeah, I get it.
Because I know what happened in behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
How fun we had doing them.
Yeah, that's right. So let's move on to the 5th short film, which is Press the Button. So this was actually the first one that I actually used like a proper set. Well, I say set in the loosest way possible, but set and props and all that, and costume, believe it or not. I deliberately said to myself, I'm going to wear that exact costume for this short film, as just to make it look a bit more professional.
Yeah.
I assigned myself I even did up my hair properly for this one as well. I didn't just let it. I didn't just film as it was. Yeah, so if you can't see Kane in this film at all, it's because he's just playing audio and he plays the character Susan, which was a funny little thing that we thought of when writing this film. And you see that button there?
Brainstorming ideas for 2 hours.
Yeah. So if you look at that button there, that glowing orange thing is actually a balloon with a torch underneath the balloon shining upwards, and the silver silver cylinder going down it is actually I don't actually know what it's like. It's like cardboard, like coated in silver. I don't know how to explain it. But it was funny, and as well as that, this short film was actually all filmed by my mum because I didn't have a tripod at the time, so there was a lot of quick cuts between lines. Yeah, there's a lot of quick cuts between lines though, which is a bit annoying at times. But at the same time, it's like, well, it's not bad. So this short film.
I just find my voices I do very cheesy.
Yeah, it is funny though. I feel
One
like
point my voice broke, I think, and I purposely tried sounding like either like a Scottish or David Tennant type of thing.
yeah. Oh yeah, and there's the bit with John as well. I was like, who's John? Oh, that was all funny.
None of your fucking business.
And then you
my
drop
voice
your
broke, David.
yeah, and then you drop your coffee on the ground. That didn't actually happen, by the way. What happened
I don't drink coffee, so
when we recorded your lines, you were just sat in my room, and when that bit came around, I just kind of bumped like the bottom of my desk and kind of went with it. And,
actually, I think that was the exact sound.
yeah. JPEG.coffee spill. I don't know. No, but I do like this one. I think this is the first short film where the short film only relies on the dialogue for the content. Like a lot of the other films were kind of like, oh, we're gonna have, you know, Jelly Babies, and we're gonna have Doctor Who, and like DVDs, and we're gonna have, you know, Disturbed, you know, and Star Wars and all that. There's a lot of just like relying on
fucking know.
Yeah, there's a lot of relying on other things, whereas this one is purely reliant on the comedy and the dialogue, which is why we had to work on the script. That was like the strongest part of this short film. But I do love the fact that we've got like a plain black backdrop and a prop and like an assigned costume and all that, which works. It feels semi. Look at my face. I feel this is the first semi-professional like production. It looked cheap and terrible visually, and the lighting could have been a lot better considering it's pitch black throughout the whole film. Though that's the best I could have done at the time without a tripod, without a lighting rig, etc. But it was the first one that I took seriously, I guess, because it was like, I need to write the script properly. You know, got to make the prop of the button. And the backdrop with the black is actually my blackout curtains in my living room. And as well as that, we have a black sheet, like a bed cover, which we covered the radiator and had it draped along the ground. But we ended up not filming much of my legs and ground because the bottom of where the button was actually tape, and the bottom of like the cylinder that I had, and it just looked terrible, so we didn't film the ground really at all, so the whole bed sheet thing didn't really help in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, Press the Button was an interesting one. It isn't a bad short film. I mean, like I say, it's the first one it's the first one with like a proper like created prop and stuff. That was actually made mostly by my mum as well. My mum did a lot of work on the Press the Button short film, which is nice, with the prop and all that, and your set design and all that. It's just good.
Well, the actual script making itself, the dialect is sort of we tried to get it to like our type of banter. It's like,
yeah, that's right, without making it too cocky or too slapstick as well. We tried to make it as humorous as possible, without making it seem cocky. But no, so let's move on to short film 6, which is the halfway point, and it is The Dalek, which was, funnily enough, a remake of a short film that I did with Mark back in 2017 of the same name, called The Dalek, except I had my giant Zac Fro, and it was actually filmed by Michael, but this is the remake of it. It was a similar premise, it's just that we had the addition of a third character just kind of showed up at the end. It was just kind of a what the fuck kind of short film that we threw together last minute, because I hadn't made one that month, and I was like, oh shit, I've still got to make one for this month, don't I? So we kind of threw this one together as fast as we could. Yeah. Anyway, let's just watch it. So you can definitely see that it was kind of a last minute thing to do, because we just kind of was like, oh shit, I've got to film it. And we were in college at the time, and Dylan's like, well, come on then, let's just go upstairs and film one. Would you have anything in mind? I'm like, oh, I'll just remake The Dalek from 2017. Yeah, that's such a bad... Oh... That's so cringy to watch now, the whole Dalek.
That was part of the joke.
I mean, technically it can be. Yeah, it is. That was definitely intentional. No, but I feel like this was filmed better. A lot of this film, a lot of the visuals were actually done by Joe, because I was in front of the camera for a lot of this. And then Joe just kind of showed up at the end there. That was back when he had his mullet sort of haircut, which was funny. And then we just kind of got to this point where we were like, oh, I'm bored of this short film, so we just kind of like, let's end it with us skipping down the corridor. So that's what we did.
I like to think of this short.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, and then there's a little bit then. And so the three twats continued skipping until they reached a road where the three of them were knocked down and killed by a local bus.
Oh my god,
that's the best. I love that. Oh god. And then there's so I feel like this one was the stupidest of them all, but I feel like it's got a little bit of charm to it.
Yeah, if you say so.
Yeah, the original original skit by Zach Tomlin and Mark Carlos. Yeah, that one obviously, like I say, this was meant to be a remake of the other one, the original. Yeah, this is the first one where I actually include credits. I think the others they don't really have. Well, no, I think I did put credits in the marathon. Actually, no, I say that. But anyway, so let's move on to short film number 7, which
quickly I like to quickly with the Dalek one. I just think of the ideas, and when it comes to it, I think hang on, that sort of says something about Daleks nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, oh sweet, no college.
Yeah, I know.
That's how useless. That's what has happened to Daleks. So,
I know, Daleks have been so overused.
I've now turned this into TT Institute.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, really, like back then they were all scary. Now it's like, cool,
yeah, whatever. It's a Dalek, no college. Yeah.
I was by a bus instead of a Dalek.
It's a Dalek at college, but they get hit by a bus at the end. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
stupidity.
That's right. Yeah, stupidity is stronger than Daleks these days. Yep, that's right. Sounds about right. So.
Oh my god, a stupid Dalek.
So scary. Yeah. And now let's move on to the 7th short film. Whiskey Bar is debatably the best short film that I did. That's debatable, though.
Definitely got the best directing.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the other one. Never mind. This still has good directing as well.
I really like Whiskey Bar because, well, I mean, it's the first one.
You just like whiskey.
No, yeah, well, the thing is, the thing is with Whiskey Bar, this is the first one that me and Joe did together that we actually scripted. Well, we technically scripted Fandom Menace, but we didn't really script it properly. We kind of like filled in the gaps when we were filming, and in editing, we didn't really have a schedule to get it done within a week. We kind of just left it for months without finishing it or uploading Fandom Menace. But Whiskey Bar was a lot more of like, right, okay, so we're going to film it on this day and I'm going to record a vlog with it, and we're also going to, it was just kind of, we kind of set out a day where we were going to film it, and we had a script fully prepared, and and it also, this is the first one where I use where I have a list of like soundtracks that go with the film. For example, the opening bit was actually by The Doors, the opening song, the Whiskey Bar song, basically, The Doors. Yeah, I know, exactly. And I tried to walk direct when it in tune with like the song, as it were, but it didn't really work out that well in editing, so I kind of left it out. And this is the first film with flashbacks in it, which is good. A lot of time jumping. This is the first film with time jumping in it, and this has a clear beginning, middle, end, which is good with this one. And this flashback scene, I used the color grade so it looked a little bit grayer, so it looked like it was in the past. And funnily enough, this was actually the camera work in that little segment, since we were at college, was actually done by Sam, our friend Sam, which is cool. I am quite proud of this film, to be honest. I don't know. When me and Joe, we kind of had the idea where it was like, me and Joe kind of wanted to just hang out and drink whiskey as it was. So we were like, oh, we got to make a film out of it, because we keep saying we've got to drink whiskey. So we thought, oh, we got to make a film out of it now, and it actually turned out really well. To be honest, I feel like that opening text annoys me. It looked so like Comic Sans. I don't know why. It just doesn't look good like that. The logo for Whiskey Bar there. I feel like I've got a much better logo for Whiskey Bar for the new poster that I made for it the other day. But yeah. Yeah, I'm quite proud of this film. Yeah. I feel like my acting in this film could have been a lot better though. But I feel I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
I think that shot was intentional, to make it like a silhouette of Joe, to make him seem smothered in complete darkness or whatever. Joe was the one who directed most of this film. We kind of both co-directed it, but Joe technically took the helm of directing for the most of this film. Yeah. There was a lot of method acting, if you can't tell, when we were filming this thing. We actually drank it. Oh yeah, that was proper. That was proper whiskey.
I'm not the first one to be drunk on a short film.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, the jumping on the bed. We had to do that chucking on the bed 5 times, and on the 4th take, the bed broke, and that was the take that we used. The bed actually broke, like the one of the boards on the bed. And as well as that, if you look behind me, you can see that the curtain thing is kind of flopped a little bit, yeah? Well, that broke too when we were filming, so there was a lot of casualties while making this film. A little casualty, yeah. But I do like how we actually use music to like move along the story in this film. I feel like it's the first. I'm quite proud of this one, to be honest. I feel like all of the films leading up to this one were kind of like building the foundations of the. I don't like the blood effect in that shot though. That was very pathetic. That one.
That's like the Comic Sans of blood.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's really bad. But I feel like it kind of ends like bittersweet. It's like I finally got my whiskey, but Joe's dead and all that. So it's like. I like how this.
That was the point of this story. I thought you were just trying to make him feel better or something, but then you just failed. Like, oh well.
Yeah, just shot him. Oh, I shot him. Yeah. You see, I've got 3 different songs featured in that. So we kind of tried to make the soundtrack of this film have a kind of an identity in this one, and the idea of Lamrack Media kind of. We only ended up doing like 2 Lamarack Media films in the end. We'll probably do more eventually, but that kind of like when it went on the back burner when we did film projects at college. But anyway, so yeah, Whiskey Bar. Very proud of it, to be honest. I think it's the first one when I finished editing. It's like, you know what? I'm quite proud of this. I'm ready to upload this. Whereas the other ones before it were a lot like, I'm gonna upload it and see how Whereas this one, I felt quite accomplished when I finished this short film, to be honest. If we move on to short film 8 now, I think it is, we go to The Last Success, which, when I named it, I completely misspelled it and called it Last SUC 1C ESS. I spelt it wrong.
There it is.
Huh?
There it is, look.
Yeah, exactly. It's spelt wrong, exactly. So that was an accident.
I was the one who pointed it out.
I know. That was an accident, but then I thought to myself, it's kind of ironic because this film is called The Last Success, but the name in of itself is a failure, which I kind of like. It's kind of got a nice bit of irony to it, so I've kind of left it.
Now what's even funnier is because Joe wrote the sign, so it has both.
Yeah, I know.
It's like in the video, it's got it written correctly, but you still.
I know. The film title is a failure, and yet the film title is called The Last Success. That's what I like about it. It's got some irony to it.
The previous thing was The Last Success. This isn't even the success he was talking about. The previous thing was.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Yeah, no, but I feel like this one's got some humour to the title. That's what I'm telling.
And again, it's another. Star Wars themed one.
Yeah, we only actually did 2 Star Wars themed ones, but yeah, this one's a good one. I feel like this one's a lot better cinematically because there's a lot more creative shots, like this one here, for example. Yeah. There's a lot of like focusing the way we were filming, and coincidentally, this is the only film which I shot on my Sony Handycam. Since this film, it's actually broken. My battery that I used in the camera that day won't charge for the life of me, and I took it into PC World twice and they brought it back to me, not with a fixed battery but with a new battery, but did not fix the problem. The battery still won't charge, so it's got something to do with the camera, which is a tiny bit annoying, but anyway, I'll get it fixed someday. But no, there's a lot of like inside jokes to college in this film, a lot more than I probably should have put in, but yeah. We when this is actually a last minute production that me and Joe did. We were out past Waitrose, the Green, and we were kind of no, this is the castle. We at the time we were sat.
I know where
outside.
you are, and that's not the Green.
Yeah, and we thought to ourselves, you know, that we were talking about the whole scene with Luke and the lightsaber, and we're like, oh, that's basically college when we're handing assignments in. Like the teacher just chucks the assignments away, like that. And so we were just like, level 2 smacks you in the face, yeah. There's a lot of inside jokes in this one, which are very funny, to be honest. But yeah, level 2 was basically the first year of my college, and then level 3 is obviously my current course. That was the joke, really, about this, the inside jokes. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and then this last piece of paper. With this is funny. Just read this. Depression. By signing this, you hereby declare that you will have depression henceforth till the end of your days. I will not make any platonic or romantic advances to anybody, regardless of gender or species. I shall never again smile unless thinking of or finalising my own death. Sign here. P.S. Nobody likes you. Oh, Joe's handwriting is so bad. No, but
there should be a small print just saying.
I know.
Until the end of level 3.
Yeah.
No, it turns out the first year of uni is actually called level 4. So.
Is it? Lol, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, level 4, level 5, level 6 is how it
No,
goes.
I'll never escape the system. No, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah. That piece of paper was funny to write. Me and Joe were just kind of sat in my kitchen, and we were just thinking, what should we write for this piece of paper? Because we've got to write like a little contract thing, like a contract signing to have depression. Like that's what you do when you join college. So we just thought, oh, we got to integrate that joke into a script. So we did, obviously, with that final prop there, which is good. Yeah, again, another film with an actual prop used. Actually, the whiskey bar had props. It had the whiskey itself and the gun, yeah, which was good. This is the second and final with Lamorak production that we've actually no. The Fandom Menace was actually a Lamorak production, but I don't think we labelled it that in the credits. But yeah, Lamorak. Probably do some more eventually. But yeah, the Last Success, nothing really to say really. It's just kind of exists. It's a funny one. But
make
yeah,
a video.
yeah, make a video. Oh yeah, this we'll move on to short film number
Hang on, there's a
9.
short film missing, isn't there?
Huh?
There's a short film missing.
No, there's not.
Yeah, TT Institute. Yeah.
What?
I forgot what it's called, but it's like end of season 10, series 10.
No, that was not 20. That was 2016, Kane. No, that was 2017. That was 2017 in July, I think it was. That doesn't count. That one's not part of this roster of short films that I did. This is all about my monthly releasing of short films. This is short film 9, which was the August short film, I believe it was. This was called Make a Video.
Yeah, it is August because so it can't be after.
No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So this one was released in August, but was made in July. Just like Anyway, so yeah, Make a Video is probably the most meta that my short films get. To be honest, would you say? I'd say so, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, this bit when you threw the bottle. Yeah, when you throw the bottle here, it kind of hits you in the head, doesn't it? Wait for it. 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 It comes. It comes up. Come on. Oh, you drink it again first. Put the lid on. Yeah. It's you.
Oh, that line! I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think as soon as it happened, I got off screen as quick as possible to stop laughing.
Yeah, I tried not to laugh so bad because I saw it.
Oh, it's just that knock I do.
Yeah, dumbass, you say.
Dumbass.
Yeah. I don't think was there a script made for this one. I don't think there was. I can't think of it. No, I don't think there was a script.
There's only the only one that has a script is the only one where I'm not in.
Is the button
on the screen?
Yeah, exactly. Technically, there was a script for the game, but that was a different story, isn't it? Yeah, I just kind of dropped my phone down the side of the chair as well. Yeah.
Oh, what is my hair doing?
Oh yeah, and then we have a continuation of the DVD throwing joke, which was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
I'm like, I'm smarter now. It's like, nope.
Nope. Nah, that was funny.
Could make a video about that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, though, is that this one there isn't really anything new that is introduced with this video. It just kind of happens, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I could have done more with this one, because it's good. There's nothing wrong with it, really. I think this is the first film where it's nothing wrong with it, but it's just average. Like, I'd say it's better, like, visually and, like, directed. It's better than, I don't know, like, it's better than the Fandom Menace. But I wouldn't say that it does anything to, like, you know, innovate, like, my short film skills, really. It's just kind of dialogue and a bit of visual humour, really. There isn't really much. I wish that I had more, you know, I wish this short film had more going for it, really.
Yeah.
I'm watching you. It's got the good humour in it and all. I'm very proud of it in that respect, but I feel like we've already seen the sort of the different techniques of humour. And then obviously, actually no, breaking the fourth wall, that's good. I haven't really done breaking the fourth wall before in the short film.
No.
Really. But yeah, and it just kind of ends there, which was good. It's a good one. I'm quite proud of that one, but nothing, like I say, nothing really unique about it, nothing really new to offer. And now we move on to the longest short film by far, the 10-minute and 45 one, called
The funny thing is, even this doesn't have a script.
No, it doesn't. It has
ideas of what to do, but we had no idea how
we had zero script. We had no script throughout this whole fucking thing. And that's why the last little bit of dialogue in this short film is so fucking bad.
Yeah, but I take that on stride, like...
It's still... I mean, what did we expect?
People have heard of character development, but you've not heard of character... Well, whatever Kane does.
Yeah, I know.
All characters like have something to resolve in a film or something. My character is just like... loses all brain cells immediately.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that was so good. Anyway, let's just watch it now. So, it starts up with the Hail to the King song by Avenged Sevenfold. This is a little inside joke, a little inside reference for us two, actually, because this was yeah, it is really, this whole film is. But
I was going to uni.
And so we kind of flipped it, and I was like, what if I made a film about me going to uni and you not being happy about it? So that's what we did. That's how this film came to be. The idea of Hail to the King being there is that you actually showed me that song back when we were in secondary school, didn't you? So you introduced me to the band, my favourite band, Avenged Sevenfold, starting with Hail to the King and then Heretic, which is actually the song that is playing in the closing credits of this film as well. Heretic. Yeah, exactly. So I referenced both of those songs. Obviously, you showed me Unholy Confessions as well, but anyway, I didn't reference that one.
Oh no, actually, we did have a script.
Oh yeah, that little thing. We didn't.
That's actually a script.
No. But the thing is that paper was empty when I got it out of that envelope. We were thinking to ourselves, right? Okay, can you think off the top of your head what your unconditional said? And you're like, fuck, I can't. So we're like, right, okay, just write down a little thing on this piece of paper now. Sat in those chairs right now. So we did, and
yeah. The thing is, that little bit we couldn't remember. So every time you see the scene cut, I added more words to that piece of paper.
I know. If you look at the piece of paper, it just grows like the words. I'm quite proud of this bit. This bit's quite good.
Aiming to make it longer, but unfortunately, like, I was a bit busy.
Yeah, so we weren't able. There was a lot of scenes that we cut out in the end because there wasn't really time to do that. We got the principle of the story in there though, but we wanted to expand it a little bit more of a build up to the climax of this film. But we were like, well, there isn't any time to do it, is there? But I do like the suitcase scene here. That was good. That was another example of my Edgar Wright film. Actually, this film has the most like Edgar Wright references in it because it has the music from Shaun of the Dead. I've forgotten what the song's called, but it's playing when I'm walking down the street at night, isn't it? Right? Yeah, that's playing. That's good. It's got a lot of references in there with like the editing style of Edgar Wright and all that, which is good. I think it has a lot because the thing is, I think I did a lot of Edgar Wright references in this because we were Edgar Wright fans before it was cool, but like before The World's End, before it was trendy to like Edgar Wright.
Hey, look, It's
Yeah, I know. Hot Fuzz. Yeah, another reference was to Edgar Wright, which is good. And then here's an Edgar Wright cut here. There's an Edgar Wright transition cut. Watch this. Here it comes. Here it comes. Beep. Woo. Fun. Boom. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Right. Yeah. Edgar Wright cut right there. Yeah. Fun. Yeah, and then here's the music, the blues. I don't know what the song's actually called, but I'll look it up later. But no, I feel like I think at the time when we were shooting this was actually the first shot that we filmed for this whole film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We filmed it one night. The intention with this was to shoot this whole sequence of us me walking down the street in one take, but we didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't in the end, but I wanted to do it as a whole take as kind of homage to Shaun of the Dead.
You wanted a few different camera
yeah, I did, but I wish that I kind of did it in one take now as like a better reference to Shaun of the Dead.
Also, another issue was like every few seconds, like I'd either speed up or go too slow.
Yeah, that's right, and we had to refilm it, and we were like, oh fuck it, we'll just cut it different. I love this shot. This shot is so well lit. Like it looks so creepy. Like the bad camera quality works in this shot. Like you can see your silhouette.
Like if you didn't notice me beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like when you.
Yeah, it was just good.
When you first walked past me, like you could if you were.
If you've got your eagle eyes, you can see your head kind of pop out of the bush for a second there, and then you come into full view after I leave the frame. Yeah. But yeah. I feel that's good. Oh yeah, and then there's this bit. This bit is really funny. I kind of had a script in my head, so I just kind of on the fly told you, right, okay, say this bit, now say this line, now say this one. But I didn't ever write it down or anything.
I have an issue with scripts, as in
you kind of
you can't make it sound like me enough.
No, I can't. So you just kind of improvise. But yeah,
I add my element to me.
Yeah, you've got like this bit here, for example. You just got. I say to you, right? Okay, you know what you say best. So just mumble to yourself and say you can't leave. And so that's what you do in that bit there, for example.
No, you can't leave.
You can't leave. Roll credits. No, yeah. So yeah. And my face here. That was funny. I'm quite proud of this climax scene actually coming up. I'm very proud of how well edited it is. I feel like out of all the fight scenes that I've done,
it was good editing, but shit directing.
No, I feel like directing's very good. I feel like the dialogue.
Actually, 90% of it is good, but there's like one particular thing I do which I cringe so much at.
What? What do you do?
Like, I try and step on you, but it's like,
oh yeah,
that's such a shit thing. Like,
I know.
That was my idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love this opening shot here. It's just kind of continuous, and after you leave the frame here, it just kind of cuts to a tracking shot here. I'm really proud of this fight scene here. It's so well, considering it wasn't choreographed beforehand. I think it's fucking excellent. Like, considering we didn't choreograph it in advance, we just kind of were like, right, okay, so now you throw a stick at the tree, and then and we just kind of went from there.
That took us so long to do that.
I know, there was like 10 different takes where we tried the whole stick throwing thing.
Yeah, I ended up hitting you sometimes.
Yeah, you hit me on the back, and it was like, no, you're doing that in the next shot. No, but yeah. I don't like how badly I stand in that little bit there, that little segment of fighting. But a lot of this is very well done.
Yeah, the actual stick breaking, that wasn't meant to happen.
No, but we kind of integrated it.
Part of the script.
We did, because we were like, oh, that would be a good way to continue the chase sequence, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then the music slows down as I'm like, got hit in the head or whatever. And then you kind of go into. I love how well edited that bit is there, and I kind of have to roll out of the way.
That annoys me. Like, why would I ever do that?
Yeah, I know. No, but and then we got this bit here. I wish that we framed that little shot better, and I wish my acting was better for that little shot there. But yeah, a lot of this is. I'm very proud of a lot of this film, to be honest. I feel like when making this film, that bit was funny. I feel like when this film first came out, I thought to myself, yeah, this is the best film I've done, because not because it's the longest, really. I feel like I tried to make it the longest as kind of like a bigger project to undertake, really.
I started to wait character.
I know you did. You nearly laughed, and me too as well. But I kind of like work with my grin, don't I? I kind of work with it in acting. Yeah, and all your hands are up. No continuity. No, there's so much wrong with this like dialogue scene. It's so bad. But at the same time,
I was going so far. There was character development. Then we got to this bit, and I'm like,
and you're like, what? Yeah, it just comes so bad. Oh my god, it's because we had no fucking script. Yeah, that bit's good. There's a lot of humour in this dialogue scene, but we had no script, so it's like it can't be. There's no way it can be There's no way it can be good.
This bit took us so long.
Yeah, I know, because I kept cracking up at you showing your fucking wallet. I don't know. It was the problem because I couldn't get the bloody tenner out of your. I was a 20. I couldn't get the 20 out of your bloody wallet fast enough for the shot.
That wasn't the issue. Like, the issue was, you knew what I was going to say. You know I was going to go phone.
No, watch. That's not a phone either. I love that bit.
The funny thing is I don't have a phone now.
Lol. Chuck down the toilet or whatever. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, drunk.
It's funny. I do like this film. I just feel like this last little dialogue scene kind of lets it down a little bit too much. It kind of
it can't be a Zack film with Kanan if something dumb doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know something. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of this that we could have cut out dialogue wise. Yeah, it's fun. I do like this film. I feel like it could have been a lot worse. Considering it was 10 minutes and all that, it's the biggest film that I've done so far. I'm very proud of it for what it is. It's just a shame that this dialogue bit at the end just lets it down. I think even the camera angles in here have really improved, and the lighting, like everything's really improved by the point of this film. Okay.
We just don't take stuff seriously enough.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's just when it comes to actually filming. Oh yeah, and then at
the beginning it was such good acting.
I know.
Then when it came to
the final scene,
after the fight scene, we thought, fuck it.
Yeah, we was like, we're just so fucking tired. Let's go get like jam donuts or something.
Yeah, we were hungry. We wanted like fish and chips and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Fuck it, I'm hungry.
Yeah, we were just like, oh, let's just get this fucking short film done, and we just kind of let the dialogue drone on for so long, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so fun.
I can actually remember like the funniest bit with filming it. That phone scene. First, you did not expect. You did not expect me.
I didn't, because you didn't fucking warn me. Yeah.
I pulled out my wallet and said phone, and he just laughed. Then the next time I added phone. After he's gone over that bit.
Yeah, and then you pulled out your bloody headphones, didn't you?
No. It's still the wallet bit. Like, this is why it took so long.
Yeah, and then you said no.
Every 10 takes, I had something else.
You're like, you've got to take out the 20. You're like, you've got to take out the money. Yeah, and I was like, yes. It was. I feel like this is the film that I had the most fun doing, to be honest. Like, I feel like at least the fight scene, the day when we filmed the fight scene and the dialogue at the end, that was like fucking fun to do, man. Like, when we were in the woods though, it was actually muddy, and I was like complaining that there was mud on my knees. But then when we were doing the chase scene, like we weren't even like fucking like tired from running, doing like 5 different takes of me, you know, running. We weren't even tired. We were just kind of like laughing our heads off at the fact that, you know, like you kept throwing the stick at my head when you were trying to throw it at a tree or whatever. It was a good one. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the penultimate short film, which is The Return, which is meant to be like a setup. This one was really good as well, though, to be honest. I feel like this one.
Yeah, you came to my uni.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Yeah, and I had an idea for what the short film was going to be like in my head when doing it, but I thought to myself, I'm not going to push Kane to do it if we don't have time to, because we did have a lot to do that day, like doing those Doctor Who reviews and stuff. Yeah. But I love the Rose spoof here. It's so good, and I just love how
You can
drawn
tell,
out. I love how drawn out this shot is here.
I
Like,
told you, like, it's a serious thing. Like, you were meant
Yeah.
to. You
It's
wanted
just-
it to be like Rose, but I decided to make it well.
yeah, it was
That
good.
answers our question.
It was good. It was just good. It's just such a good film. It's just so fucking fun, and the Tide Pod thing as well. That was just a last minute like Easter egg thing that we decided to add in there. That was funny. And to be honest, the whole reason why, the whole thing that prompted me to do the Rose spoof at your uni is when I got to your like got to inside the uni bit and I saw that staircase from the outside. I was like, oh my god, it looks just like outside the Rose's flat. So it's like we have to. So
I actually forgot my door locked, so.
yeah, it's like, oh shit, yeah. It was good. Oh, but but by the end of this day though, we did like 5 different takes of that shot there of me running in 5 different areas.
We couldn't get any good lighting.
No, so I just kind of stuck with like the first take because that was like the best one. Fun fact though, by the way, by the point of like this next shot here, when Kane's in the room, I'm actually like my fever kind of like sets in and I become depressed as fuck. Like I become like so ill. Do you remember that? Like I got so ill that day. So we were gonna actually go out clubbing with some of your uni friends, but we didn't in the end because I was so fucking ill. And so and as you can see that my acting kind of like is really like low. It's not bad acting. It's actually very good considering it's me. But my acting
Actually, I think I
here,
was drinking vodka in this bit.
yeah, but my shot, like my,
because I was preying during recording this.
yeah, that was
Vodka
good.
And Dr Pepper in that.
Yeah. You see my acting here with my like squinting eyes and all that. That's my don't give a fuck sort of face, and I just my low voice and all that. It kind of works for the film though. It does work for the film, but you can see that I'm feeling very ill in this shot. And then there's you. I feel like this film has your best acting. I feel like I feel like this next shot here with you at the door. You didn't even do this intentionally, but this next shot of you at the door, you do a little eyebrow raise. But let me just show you. If you watch it now, look, watch. Right now, it happens like right. Yeah, see it. It kind of twitches up and down. It's just that little added.
I can't control my left eyebrow.
Yeah.
I can't control that one.
It looks funny though. It looks very humorous. It's a good short film though. I'm very proud of it.
I think we actually broke that bed as well at that bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was funny. Hello everybody and welcome to the review. And then it kind of closes with that little message there. That was good. That was a good short film, to be honest. Obviously the promo for it's meant to be a promo for the reviewing that we were going to do.
Yeah.
But we only ended up reviewing 2 episodes in a row. But anyway.
Well, that's because at that point there was only 2 episodes out.
That's right. Yeah, that's the problem with it. That's why there hasn't been any other Series 11 episodes, guys. Is because we haven't had time because Kane's stuck up in uni. So
yeah, I've got another assignment due on Wednesday.
Rest in pepperoni.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of like that was the last one with you. So if we we'll do the last one, the last short film of my 12 short films. So
actually, also quickly, it's like again, it took us so long to record it, but for once, it's not because we were laughing.
Yeah.
It's because my flatmates came out and started
I
talking.
know.
I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I know. Every time we tried to film the doorway conversation scene, like your mate Joe came out and was just like, "Oh wow, you're a film student at college." I'm like, "Yeah," and we just started getting nattering, and you were like, "Are you done yet?" And then
at the end of it, I was just ended up drinking a bottle of vodka. I was like, "There's one once."
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was a good short film. I'm pretty proud of the return. It's a good one. Yeah. So if we go to the final one of my 12 short films, which is the Christmas Lights. So this is a big departure from the sort of short films that I've done previously. A lot of the others were very much sketch comedy, or like obviously featuring a character named Zach and a character named Kane or Joe or Dylan. You know what I mean? Whereas this one is a silent film. Well, not a silent film, but there's no dialogue, and it's just using a Christmas track in the background, a royalty-free Christmas track, and we've got our mate Jonathan to film. the way that this film came about is I had the idea to do something really different for my final film of the year, and do a silent film that was Christmas themed, obviously, because it's December, but then also...
Hang on, didn't Jonathan put like a same thing, but it was
he had his own little idea, but I decided to make mine a little bit more narrative based. His was a little bit more visual. His was a lot more reliant on visuals. Mine was a bit more reliant on like an deeper meaning sort of thing. So the whole idea behind this, how this came around in my head, is that I had the idea for a while. Actually, I had the idea to do a film about a student, living alone for the first time in a uni flat, and this is his first Christmas alone, away from his family, and then the Christmas lights come on and all that at the end of this film, and his spirits are lifted and all that. It's meant to be like a touching sort of film, like a nice little deeper meaning in this one, which is a sort of theme that I haven't really, a sort of style that I haven't really done yet in my short films, and I thought I wanted to go. I wanted to go.
Of people didn't know people.
Yeah. No. I wanted to have it like cut from him standing alone to him being in the middle of people. It was all kind of, the idea of being alone and all that. I feel like it was a nice little idea. I wanted to make this one as different as I possibly could from the other short films for this last one. I like how this one came out, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, that's all of them really. Looking at all of my short films. So the first one was, what was it called? It was the Fandom Menace. So that one, obviously, what do you think of it? Because that one was a very short one. It, Star Wars based.
I just saw that comment. Oh, I'm loved.
Yeah. Yeah, lol. Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah, so what do you think of the Fandom Menace in retrospect?
I found it a bit odd. It's like, why? I don't see the point of this. Why?
Yeah, I think the thing is that me and Joe thought to ourselves, well, I mean, we've got to make a short film eventually, and we always, throughout the time that we knew each other, we were like, well, I mean, we've got to make a film because we're both students, so that's what happened. I feel like it could have been a lot better, but it's the first of many short films, so I feel like it's a good starting point.
I found it funny at some point.
Yeah, I feel like
predictable as like he's gonna make a joke as like, oh, his film is, oh, he has watched them all. He just prefers Phantom Menace. That's the joke. Yeah, it's predictable.
Yeah, it is predictable. I feel like that film relies on a lot of like humor. It relies on a lot of comedy. Funnily enough, it's the first short film, and that one used Joe's DSLR camera to film. Yep. I'm trying to think what else. We went hunting for the location to film the short film on the day of filming. We didn't do like a location recce. We just kind of went for it, which was a bit silly of us at the time. But we learnt from our mistakes, and from future reference, we deliberately said to ourselves, like with the Last Success, we thought to ourselves, right, if we're going to do this second Star Wars spoof, we've got to think of a location before actually going there. And we're like, let's use the castle, which is local to me. So that's what we did. But yeah, the Fandom Menace. Now, the game, the second short film. What do you think of that one?
Just silly.
Yeah, I feel like it was like a I'm bored, let's make a short film kind of thing, wasn't it?
No, that's literally what happens. Yeah, it's not like that. It is that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The only one which we planned to make was You Can't Leave. Yeah. Any other one is like
no. To be fair, I did say to you that I'm planning to make The Return when I was coming to your uni.
Okay.
I messaged you. I didn't have a script
before uni, like, because now more professional with this stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I'm gonna say my acting's improved mainly because I'm opposite of film student.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And there's another one somewhere in here somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah, the game was it's a good one. I was very, very proud of it at the time, and I think it definitely holds up to this day. It's a good one.
It's good for how lazy it is.
Yeah, considering there wasn't much effort put into it, it was a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Now the marathon, the second longest short film that I did, very good actually. At the time, I was very proud of it, and I still shut up, chair. You're being so bloody loud. I'm quite proud of it, to be honest. Now to this day, I feel like it has some structure story-wise. It's the first one with a lot of a proper narrative, like a beginning, middle, end to the story. I do like how it's a bit open-ended and all that. It's a nice one. It's a good one. It took me and Morgan. It didn't actually take us that long to do, considering it was 7 minutes. But yeah. What about getting back into Doctor Who? What do you think of that one?
Witty.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like out of the
Morgan
two,
is good at
acting. Yeah, especially in that one,
ranting.
he's good at acting. To be honest,
What is this?
Yeah, I know. It's so good.
I hope there's a time when me and him can just do something.
Oh, we need to. Oh, I should probably do a film with you two. Oh, that'd be so good.
I'm back next week.
Really?
I come back on the Saturday.
Woo! Oh shit, man, that's fucking great. All right.
That's why my assignment is so important for me to do.
Right, fairs. Yeah. So getting back into Doctor Who, I feel like out of the two of them, the marathon and getting back into I'm comparing them now. Getting back into Doctor Who looks a bit better thought out than the marathon was, even though the marathon did kind of have a script in a sense. Actually, funnily enough,
you don't need a script. I can prove that.
Yeah, but yeah, getting back into Doctor Who. Funnily enough, the idea of getting back into Doctor Who was actually based around a 50-second skit that I thought of to do with my TT Institute channel trailer that I was going to do back when I changed the name to TT Institute, and we did a couple little skits that never really came to fruition, which was the original version of throwing a DVD at your head, which didn't really happen. We did eventually redo that in the TT Institute channel trailer that we have now. Yeah. And then the getting back into Doctor Who thing, the idea of Morgan stealing my DVDs and watching all the bad episodes. Yeah. We had that idea in our head as like a little skit.
Plans of what to do.
Yeah. So getting back into Doctor Who was an idea that we had. It wasn't meant to be 20 minutes and 40 seconds long. It was only meant to be a 50-second thing where he thinks to himself, I'm bored.
2 minutes, not 20 minutes.
Sorry, yeah, I meant 2 minutes, yeah. No, it wasn't. It was just a quick little a 50-second thing where it was like Morgan was bored and he was like, I'm going to try Doctor Who Classic Series. Then he steals my DVDs, and then that's it, really. It kind of ends there, but we kind of expanded it with his reaction to watching all the bad episodes and stuff, you know. But I feel like it works. It has a good story to it. It had a lot of time coming. It had to, in the works. But anyway, what about Press the Button? What do you think of that one? You said you like this one.
The whole day, the day we actually thought of the idea, I remember a lot.
Yeah.
And when it came to making the ideas, we had lots of fun doing that. I remember.
Yeah, we just kind of sat in the what's it called? In the allotments. We sat in the allotments just thinking of what could we do? Because we had this idea of just going back, just doing back and forward banter, like having that sort of a short film.
What we did, most of the script, this is the first time we ever had a script.
Yeah, we properly brainstormed.
You said something and I quickly responded with something funny.
Yeah, and you were like, let's work this
that's
into
where
the
Susan
script.
came from. It literally came off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know. It was so funny.
I know, the joke, and you immediately responded.
Yeah, and then the whole idea.
And then fuck you.
Yeah, and then the dialogue where it's like we're in 2018 now, and you can respect yourself.
Don't do that.
I know.
Like that.
Exactly.
It annoys me when people go on like that.
It was meant to be like a humorous little thing about how society is and all that. But no, I feel like that short film dialogue wise, I'm pretty proud of the script because we actually thought it out properly and was like, right, okay, what works, what doesn't work in the script and all that. And you know what's funny? Don't know if you guys noticed this when you watched it, but Press the Button, the character John was actually voiced by me because we couldn't get anybody else to record his lines. And it was just like 2 or 3 lines, and I kind of muffled my voice a bit to make it sound a little bit more further away from the microphone or whatever.
Yeah.
But no.
Actually, I think I asked you to get out of the room.
Yeah. That's right.
At one point, I literally ran out of the room because like I was shouting from far away.
It's like, John. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah, exactly. It was a good one. It was an interesting one to do. Filming wise, practically, it took a little time to design the button itself. I had a clear idea that I was going to use my blackout curtains from my living room as the backdrop, though, and I had a clear vision as to what costume I was going to wear. And I had the idea where it was like, you know, I kind of want to have this short. I had it in my head at the time. I had a vague idea that I was going to do a short film where it was literally just back and forward banter with Kane, but one of us is not on screen. It's just over audio, almost like. Actually, the original idea for this was that it was going to be a phone call, like sort of short film, but that was just kind of like the starting point for this short film was kind of like a phone call kind of short film where it was kind of like you only heard one side of the conversation, and it kind of stemmed from that to being some sort of like open-ended, like why, like where is this character, what's going on, who is this person talking to him, like it's a lot of questions. And what I find so funny is that none of those questions get answered. It's just kind of like it ignores all of the important questions and just kind of goes straight for the banter instead, which I feel like that's kind of clever with this one.
That's the joke.
Yeah, that's funny at least. I feel like that one's an alright short film, yeah. As for the Dalek, what do you think of that one? Actually, no. The Dalek is actually the shortest film, going at 1 minute and 28 seconds, which is 40 seconds shorter than the game was. So, what do you think of the Dalek?
Just silly.
Yeah, it's just silly, to be honest.
It's just there.
Yeah, I feel like at the time, I think I had the idea to.
I was in a break in sixth form, and I just looked at my phone and was like, "What's this?"
And you just saw the video.
And me and all my friends everyone just ended up watching it with me. It's like, "Oh,
yeah, lol." Yeah, it was a fun one to film, from what I can remember. Like I say, it was a last minute thing to do because I was like, well, if you guys don't know, these 12 short films were part of a project of mine, a personal project, to record, edit, and upload one short film in a month. And I did that for 12 months in a row, starting with December 2017 with the Fandom Menace, all the way through January being the game, February being the marathon, March being getting back into Doctor Who, April being Press the Button, I believe it was, and then May being the Dalek. And then obviously June being Whiskey Bar, July being Last Success, August being Make a Video, September being Can't Leave,
which we did that one on purpose.
Yeah,
I was going to uni.
Yeah, we did, and then October being The Return, and no, November, sorry, being The Return, because I went to your uni in October, early November.
No, look at when it was published. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see when it was published.
It was October. Never mind. And then November was the Christmas lights. So I've consistently made one short film each month for a whole year, which is good. I'm very, very proud of that. But yeah, anyway, where were we? So the Dalek. I thought to myself, well, shit, I haven't made a short film for this month. I'm still doing that challenge, aren't I? So at the time, I was just I was on my phone and I just got a reminder. Like, I think I have a reminder on my phone on the 15th of each month, like, make a film. I thought, if I haven't started making a film already, the reminder comes up on my phone or whatever. And I was at college at the time, and Dylan was like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I've got to make a short film. He's like, why? He's like, oh, it's just some personal project, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, okay, we're at college, let's make it now. So that's what we did. As we were walking up to the second floor where that corridor was, Joe was like, where are you guys going? He's like, we're going to make a short film. And he's like, oh, okay, can I come? We're like, yeah, sure. And so Joe held the camera for most of it, because me and Dylan, while we were walking up the stairs, were thinking of the short film on the spot. After I gave Dylan the ideas, like, right, let's adapt the original Dalek short film that I did with Mark, because Mark wasn't in that day. I would have remade the short film with Mark if he was in, but he wasn't. So that was the idea of it. We kind of remade the original Dalek film from 2017 that me, Mark, and Michael made. So yeah, that's really it, to be honest. Nothing really else to say about it. It's just, it kind of exists. It's probably it's the stupidest, but I think it's good that it's stupid. It doesn't take itself seriously at all.
I was
really.
hoping to have every record on this channel.
What do you mean?
Like at first, like
the stupidest short film ever.
No, I was hoping to get every record in there, because like originally when you started to incorporate me into your filming crap.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
literally, like any video that had me in,
yeah,
I used to take that on stride. Used to get the most views.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've got the longest video as well. The most videos.
Yeah, you do.
But I don't have the shortest video or the most dummest.
Yeah,
I'm 2 records away.
Yeah, I know. We've got to make like a 2-second short film where it's just like duh.
Yep.
No.
You're in my mind. Let's do it.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Dalek was a good one. I'm quite proud of it, but you know, it's nothing. It doesn't take itself seriously, which is what's good about it. It's just kind of there, and it isn't good. No one thinks that it's good. It's just kind of funny, you know. It's just good. It's bad that it's good, if you know what I mean. It's good that it's bad or whatever. If that makes sense. Then moving on to Whiskey Bar, which was you see, I'm having a difficulty deciding, because where I'm at with my favourite short films that I've done, I've got Whiskey Bar up there, but I can't decide whether it is actually my favourite or not. But Whiskey Bar, we made a proper script for it, me and Joe. We had the idea for it for a little while, having the ideas like, oh, you should come around my house and drink whiskey. It's like, oh, let's make a short film out of it. So we did. You
can tell it's very
well thought out.
I was about to say inspired by World's End.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. It's probably the most inspired.
Yeah, I just remember that now.
Yeah, it's probably the most inspired Edgar Wright film, because it's bleeding with Edgar Wright references in there. I mean, I know that The Last Success is bleeding with Edgar Wright references as well, but this one is a lot more condensed with references, really. They're a lot less spread out, aren't they, in Whiskey Bar? This one obviously has the Whiskey Bar song starting with it. The opening like credits and all that were good, but then the references of I think this film is meant to be like a loose spoof to The World's End, to be honest. It's meant to be a little paying homage to that film.
The confrontation part in particular.
Oh god, yeah, don't even get me started on that. Like with the bit where the bit where Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are battling it out in The World's End itself, and they're arguing about, you know, whether Gary should have his last pint. I feel like that fight scene is very heavily inspired. We even took some lines from that fight scene and put it into our script. Yeah, we used a tripod for this one, actually. We didn't use a camera, but we used a tripod. I used my phone and put the phone extension on the tripod and stuck my phone on there, and we filmed it that way. Hence why the lighting is a tiny bit inconsistent in this film when it gets to Joe's room. But for the most part, it's up to this point. The short films. This one is probably the most professional for a little while For a little while, this one's probably the most professional of the short films, and probably out of all of these films, excluding probably You Can't Leave and The Christmas Lights, I'd probably enter this in a film festival like Whiskey Bar. I'd say I'd probably enter this one and see how it does, because it's quite a good one.
Right, did you say apart
from You Can't Leave and The Christmas Lights? That's what I'd say. I feel like those.
You Can't Leave. Like, you'd have to change that ending a tiny bit.
Yeah, I know. And
like,
the fact is,
you can't enter with that ending. I'm sorry.
Actually, no, you can't. I can't really enter You Can't Leave into a film festival anyway, because I think short films need to be under 5 minutes to be entered, which is a shame. So I don't think it can apply anyway, which is a darn shame, because I do quite like You Can't Leave in a lot of respects. But Whiskey Bar, I feel like I think it's the best thought out short film by far. Like, we definitely had a lot of planning about, like, right, okay, so how does this end? Okay, it ends with me shooting Joe and me taking the whiskey for myself. It's a pretty bleak, bittersweet ending, but, it's the sort of ending we were looking for. It's the sort of ending that The World's End kind of left us with, a bittersweet ending, with it being like, a spoiler alert if you haven't seen that film from bloody 2013. The short film ends with the world, all of the power going down. They've defeated the bad guys, but they've also lost all power. They've lost all electricity. But at the same time, Gary's still out there doing what he loves. He's adventuring, and he's, he's getting himself into trouble, which I like. It's a bittersweet ending, and I think it works. And
he's also better off, like, in a way.
Yeah, because he's not got his drinking problem anymore. I think it just works.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's has someone in the end.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even though it's not the best ending in the world, it doesn't need to be a happy ending. It can just be a satisfying ending, and it can work. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a happy ending. It can just, end off all of what the film set up, and it'll be a satisfying ending. Yeah, you don't want to leave a sour taste in people's mouths, but no, I think it works. Which is why I think You Can't Leave doesn't really work as well as it should, because the ending is a tiny bit of a flop, in a sense. It is, but anyway, we'll talk about that one in a minute.
Maybe we can remake that one day.
Maybe, yeah, or at least remake the last scene or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like
I think I still have that shirt somewhere.
We'll talk about that short film in a minute. But yeah, I think Whiskey Bar was. I think we planned out where we were going to film. We thought, right, okay, where are we going to film the flashback? Yeah, at college. Where will we film the opening field scenes? Probably near Joe's house, because he's surrounded by fields. And then obviously the climax, the main part of the film being in Joe's house, in his room, was the idea of it. And I'm not going to give anything away, but we do have plans to do a prequel to Whiskey Bar, actually. We don't know whether it's actually going to happen yet. But we're going to see whether it will be possible to do, because we have some ideas. We're chucking ideas around for a sequel. A prequel to Whiskey Bar, because obviously you can't really do a sequel because Joe's dead. But, the Whiskey Bar I'm quite proud of Whiskey Bar. It's an accomplishment, that one. That one's quite a good one. Moving on to the last success. That short film was really funny. I feel like on its own it wouldn't have worked, but considering we already did one Star Wars spoof, short film, I think it works better. I feel like it's a bit too heavy-handed on the personal, like, college level 2 references in there, but I feel like it is humorous. It works in its own right. I'm very proud of how well we managed to put it together, considering we thought of it at such a last minute.
Yeah, I like the ways that the real lack of dialogue. I mean, I know there is some dialogue, but it's like you don't really need any dialogue.
No, we didn't need a script. Yeah, we didn't need a script,
you
because
understand exactly what's happening.
Oh god, yeah, we didn't really need a script. We didn't really need any storyboards. We knew exactly how the story was going to go, because it was a parody of the Luke Skywalker lightsaber scene in the Last Jedi, which obviously that's all it is really. It's not meant to be its own short film. It's meant to be a spoof, but I feel like it works. I do like how creative it is in some of the camera angles and stuff at the start and all that, And the use of Star Wars music in it is very good. I do like how well I put that together in editing. And funnily enough, it was at this point when I was making this short film that I had to edit it in Sony Vegas Pro. At the time of making the short film, I did not know how to use Sony Vegas Pro, but yet I did it anyway, and it actually worked quite well. Like, it's not even... You didn't notice it, did you? You didn't notice a change in editing? Did you at all? No. Exactly. I'm very proud that I did it surprisingly well, because at the time, my editing software that I usually use, the audio output wasn't working, so I couldn't really make videos that I was happy with. So I had to... But then again... that software hadn't been working for over a month, and I was like, shit, I have to make this short film on this other software. There's nothing else I can do. So I did. And it came out all right, to be honest. I'm quite proud of it. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been better, though, but I don't know. I'm quite proud of it, though. It's not a bad one at all, yeah. Yeah, now moving on to make a video. That one, we had a rough idea of what the script was, but yet again, we didn't write a script. We kind of went off of, you know,
basically our basic idea when it comes to
short films.
It's like, oh look, we've not uploaded something for a while.
Let's make a video acknowledging that.
Acknowledging that, and Kane trying to be
stupid,
motivational.
Yeah, that's right.
And just ends up getting the same,
like a DVD in your face. Yeah,
no, the same DVD. That's the joke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I feel like it's good in that respect. But going back to my first short film on this channel, not watching the finale, that short film, this short film, Make a Video, is technically a remake of that one.
That's what I was trying to say.
Let's be honest, this one is technically just a remake.
That's what I was trying to say, is like, if you've not put something up for a while, you end up doing this, making
a video,
the same episode.
Yeah, the same short film, yeah.
Pointing out your issue and basically
telling me to make a video. Here. Yeah, that's right.
Except for change the dialogue a bit more, and hopefully, in my case, improve an acting.
Yeah.
Which, from the looks of it is.
Yeah. But going back to not watching the finale short film, I think with that one, I'm only going to talk about it briefly because it's not part of the 12 short films that I did. But not watching the finale, the lighting was terrible. The acting was terrible. We didn't even write a script at all. We didn't really need to write a script for this one because that was the script, wasn't it? The previous, short film.
Yeah, it was just more memory related.
Yeah, we got it's more nostalgia, that film, really. We were just kind of like, let's remake it, why not? But for not watching the finale, we made 2 versions, didn't we? And it was the crap version that I uploaded.
Yeah.
Oh dear. No, anyway. But no, it's not a bad film. It's just it was the first film, and could
even like better version you integrated into.
Yeah. The better version with the whole phone conversation.
That was on the phone, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea of the other version of not watching the finale, the conversation was over the phone, but but this version, this remake rather, kind of used the idea of the phone conversation and kind of shoehorned it in at the start of the film and kind of led into you coming to my room and was like, hey dumbass, make a video kind of thing. Yeah. So there isn't really... I wish that I was more creative with this one, because at this point, after the Last Success and Whiskey Bar, I'd established that I can make a semi-decent short film. So I didn't push myself with this one. I kind of just made it and was just kind of like, meh, I did it, I didn't really... Which is a shame. I wish I'd tried harder with this one, because I just kind of... I don't know. I think at this point with making videos, I was just kind of a bit like, meh, I don't fancy it, I think I was at that point because I was on like a month hiatus with TT Institute, which is, I feel like I was at that point where I was like, I'm not fussed really to make a video. So I feel like I wasn't really motivated enough to do anything unique with this short film, which is a shame. But anyway, moving swiftly on to You Can't Leave, which we've spoken the most about it while watching it, but we'll still talk about it now. It's the longest, obviously. It's good. I'm really proud of it, like I say. But as we said earlier, the end kind of lets it down a lot. It kind of flops, and it feels to me like an anticlimax. It feels like it's a letdown of an ending. The end doesn't really justify the means, as it were, as the phrase goes, which is a shame. It's not bad. I'm very proud of it. At the time, I was thinking, oh, this is the best one yet. And even the fact that I integrated, I deliberately before I started filming the short film, I thought to myself, right, okay, so what music am I going to use in it? I'm going to use some tracks from Shaun of the Dead. I'm going to use Hail to the King. I'm going to use Heretic, etc. A lot of little subtle references in there, but yeah.
Yeah. The reason I like this one so much is because it was one like particularly made for like me, really. Like it was just a farewell.
Yeah, it was, like, and the thing is,
it's a subtle way of also telling other people like I was going from your channel.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, it'll be a while, but instead of just making a video saying Kane's going,
we're making a whole fucking film about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's to be funny. It's like it adds a funny element to it.
Yeah, it does. It has a lot of humorous elements to it. I feel like this one, You Can't Leave, and The Marathon, they both have elements of the Edgar Wright like humor in there. It has a lot of drawn out comedy, a lot of drawn out scenes. I feel like this You Can't Leave does it a lot better than The Marathon does, because obviously I'm a lot more skilled with directing and camera and stuff like that, and writing. But with
this one, it can be a hint for everything.
There's a lot of little references in there to Edgar Wright. There's references to like us, like little references that only us two will understand. Little things in there that kind of work in the story as well. They're not kind of just shoehorned in, and people will be watching like, wait, what? Like, what was that? What was that for? What does that mean? Like, there isn't any of that. Like, with the whole use of the song "Heretic" at the end, like the lyrics saying "Please don't leave me." People think that that's clever.
I did not realize you were going to put that in.
Yeah.
Like, you told me about Hail to the King, but then you played that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally, is like that hit me. Because I don't think you released the video until I came to uni.
Yeah, I didn't really.
It was the day I came to uni, so I was a bit busy.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, yeah. The idea of it,
it hit me. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know. So the idea of it was that I'd pick songs like Heretic at the end, and the lyrics would work for the film with like, please don't leave me. But the song, you introduced me to that song back when we were both at school, which is a nice little reference, which people obviously won't get, but the song still works for the end credits, if you know what I mean. We've still got that in there. But yeah, apart from that, not really much else to say about You Can't Leave. I think we already stressed a lot of what we did in that short film when we watched it, really. So moving on to the 11th film, we've got The Return, which that was good. What do you think of that one?
It's just Rose.
It's a parody of Rose. There was,
again, I think it's just basically make a video again.
Yeah.
But the idea was like so that it would introduce you, and it was like a role reversal.
Yeah, it is actually in a sense, isn't it? Except it is actually, because it's like in make a video.
Like maybe it's like a part 2 to make a video. It's like
like a sequel.
Trying to motivate you, like before they're hinting like before I leave to uni. I go to uni.
Yeah.
And you just track me down. It's like,
I
just want to sleep. Let me sleep.
Yeah, I didn't think of that really, but make a video in The Return.
Only just came to my head.
I know, The Return is technically a loose sequel to Make a Video. I like that. I didn't think of it that way. I feel like it gives Make a Video more weight as its own short film now that it has like a loose sequel.
You're welcome.
I feel a little bit more happier with Make a Video now that you've pointed out that it's technically a sequel. But yeah, The Return, we didn't really plan out what shots we were going to do per se, but I did have a clear image of what the film was going to be about. like before even going to your uni. I did have a clear idea of what we were gonna do, for the short film, because I was like, oh, we've got to do like a parody of Rose, and when I saw your staircase of your flat, I think I already said this earlier.
Yeah,
But I was like, oh yeah, that looks like Rose's flat stairs. So I was like, yeah, we have to do this today. We have to do this today while I'm here. And I think it works. Yeah. I don't think I'd used that much music in. I think I only used the track to Rose in the episode Rose. But yeah. I don't know what the official song is called by Murray Gold, but I used it in the short film. Yeah.
I mean, I think he licensed it.
Yeah.
Westminster Bridge.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, The Return. It's a very good one actually. I'm very proud of how it came out. I don't really have that much wrong with it, and even lighting wise, it's not that bad, excluding the tracking shot of me running down the road or whatever.
Yeah.
Apart from that one, it's very well lit.
There was always going to be issues there.
Because it's darkness, isn't it? The second half of that film is at night time, so we were never going to get around that problem. But I feel like it works. I feel like it's a good little short film, and I do like that it's kind of like a sequel to Make a Video. I didn't think of it that way though, but I think it's cool that it is. And then the final one, the Christmas lights. Like I say, I had this whole 12 months of short films idea in my head. I wanted to make the last one completely fucking different from the others and make it as different as possible, make it as unique, because the others are all sketch comedy and humor, whereas this one is a lot more deeper, like personal meaning to it, a lot more, you know, I don't know, it's a lot more heartwarming, whereas the other ones are a lot more like horror / comedy, or, you know, you get what I mean, right? So this one's a lot different. It's and there's no dialogue as well. And there's a lot. The film is told basically just by the visuals, which I do like as well. I do like how that works. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say about it. I mean, when I was filming when I was in Bournemouth, when I was having a visit. When I was visiting Steve in Bournemouth, Jonathan, he's not actually called Steve, he's called Jonathan. I was thinking to myself, oh, the lights are coming on today. We didn't actually realise at the time, and John was like, oh yeah, the Bournemouth Christmas lights are coming on today. Let's go down and view them. And I was like, oh, we've got to make a film around it. And then John was like, yeah. So when we got down there, he just started whipping out his camera and filming whatever. So I did the same, and I was thinking to myself, actually, this is a good opportunity to do the sort of idea that I had in my head of someone being alone at Christmas and all that, you know, having that idea. So I kind of, you know, just kind of went with that, really. I'm very proud of it, though. I'm very, very proud of it. I feel like I'd be satisfied if I sent this off to a film festival. Out of all of them, this one is probably the one I'd send off to a film festival. Out of all of them.
No. I think the Dalek is.
No, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. Let's rank them from worst to best then. What's your least favourite out of my short films?
They've all got something, like, probably just for the reason is that there's nothing to it. It's just the Dalek, probably.
Probably, yeah. I'd say maybe that one, yeah. I'm just trying to think what other ones would there be that would be at the bottom, really. I'd say for me, it would probably be at the very bottom. I'd have to say either the Dalek or maybe Press the Button. But at the same time, Press the Button does actually have a lot going for it, and I did work very hard to film it. I don't know. I'd say maybe the Dalek being my least favourite. Yeah. Maybe what's your second least favourite after the Dalek? What would you say? I think for me, it goes the Dalek, and then maybe my second least favourite would probably have to be Make a Video, purely because I didn't push myself when making it. Really, it just kind of.
I might have to agree with you.
I feel it's good. It's brilliant, actually. Because there's nothing wrong with it, but it's the fact that I don't.
I mean, it's a polished version of the one from last year.
Yeah, from the year before that one. Yeah, so
I think you should make one of those like every year.
No, I'm not doing
Will
that
they
again.
see the improvements you do every time?
I mean, they do get better each time because the shitty version is the one that's uploaded, and then the better version of that, which was filmed like the day after, was better but wasn't uploaded. Then make a video, and then the return. But anyway, that's besides the point. I feel like make a video. The lighting's good. The acting's decent, I suppose. We actually thought it out well, but at the same time, it's lazy because we didn't have to think it out because it was just a remake of the original, wasn't it? Really, which is probably why the Dalek is at the bottom because, you know, because it is simply a remake of my other Dalek short. So, are we both agreeing on make a video being the 11th best?
Yeah.
All right. What about 10th best? What would you say is the 10th best? Because,
I don't know, because after that they all get creative one way or another.
yeah, I think we've kind of. I think
all mainly probably Fandom Menace might be down there.
yeah, I'd have to say that one too. Purely, I think you've got to cut it some slack though because it is the first, isn't it, of the 12? But
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know because I quite like the Fandom Menace, but at the same time there is a lot that could be better about it. I probably have to put at 10th best the Fandom Menace, to be honest. Actually, I've got to say the Fandom Menace is 10th best. What about? Are you agreeing with that, by the way?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. What about 9th best? Because I feel like this is where I'd probably rank The Last Success. To be honest, what would you think?
Unfortunately, I just sound like I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah,
but
no.
It's just it sounds like it's copying, like not.
No. I mean,
the whole point of it is copying Last Jedi, so it's like
yeah. I think the thing is that
it's more the creative ones are better in your case.
I feel like the parodies will probably be down there on the list. But I feel like The Last Success was essentially a sequel to the Fandom Menace in a sense because it's a spoof to Star Wars, isn't it? But The Last Success, I suppose, is 9th best. I don't know. Yeah. So after that one, what would be your 8th best? Because I'd probably have to put Press the Button as my 8th best. This is probably where our opinions change.
Yeah, this is where it'll change.
Yeah, because you quite like that one a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. Because it's mainly because of, well, it's very silly, but it's like because I know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I loved the banter we had making it.
Yeah, that's the thing though, because looking at it visually, it's not the best. I don't like the lighting. I don't really like the acting too much either. But the story was good, and the script that we thought out was good, and the props and the set design was quite good considering. Could have been a lot worse, but I'm
probably actually gonna go for the game
as the 8th best. Really, that low? Blimey.
Well,
That's crazy.
I'm gonna say actually that might be 7th. But I'll
Right.
explain in a bit and
Okay, so what would be your eighth best of them then?
only because I just didn't get around to not got issues with it. It's just okay, just Christmas lights. There's no
Right. Okay.
but that's just me.
Fair enough.
It's very visual.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, that's fine. So far my 12th is, what was it? My 12th was what's it called? I've forgotten now. It was the Dalek. Then it was Make a Video. Then it was The Last Success. Was it Last Success next? Or no. It was Dalek. Then Make a Video. Then it was the Fandom Menace. Then it was The Last Success.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, I'm putting Press the Button. What are you putting for yours? Sorry, you're putting Christmas Lights.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No problem. What would
Simply
be?
because I personally don't like silent stuff.
Fair enough.
Unless it's like a comedy.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Honestly, it's all about taste, really.
Yeah, like silent comedy films, just like the visual
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So for the 7th spot, you've put the game.
Yeah,
I'm
because
mm,
that one was lazy. The whole point of it was to be lazy.
yeah, I suppose that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to put the marathon as 7th, really, because yeah, it's very good for its time and my skill of making films, but I've gotten a lot better since then. The lighting is absolute garbage. The acting is garbage for me. My acting is terrible. Morgan's isn't bad, but then the camera angles are terrible. The music that I used could have been a lot better, and the writing was all right. I feel like the execution could have been a lot better for that film. So that's why I'm putting it as 7. What are you putting as 6th spot? What are you putting at the 6th spot? Because the 6th spot is probably where I'm going to put the game, to be honest. Because like you say, it was a last minute thing, laziness, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd probably have to put the game at 6th spot. What one would you put at the 6th spot?
This is where it's the most difficult. I mean, it's
Right.
difficult beforehand, but
Yeah.
because now they're all the very creative ones.
Yeah. There are a lot of very creative ones now. Even the game was creative, even though it was last minute. It's very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, is that what you put it as?
So I've got 6 left. So
Oh, it's so hard. Might just be. Oh damn it! Probably Return. Simple, like it. Definitely, like you can tell, everything in it has improved, but the idea is what lets it down.
Right. What is it?
No, the idea of like the beginning part, like it was just literally just a spoof, like
Which film are you talking about? Sorry.
The Return.
Oh, gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean everything inside it, like, has improved a lot. I'm not having issues looking at the camera.
No.
We aren't giggling every 5
No,
seconds.
no, that's right. Really, that's because I was ill. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, but like it's just like because it was just a filler thing. It's like, hey, do you want to make a sort of intro thing for?
Yeah, for a bloody review, isn't it? At the end of the day, if it's just an intro for a review, how good can it be? Yeah, that's what it comes down to, I suppose. Yeah. So now moving on to our top 5 of my films. What would be your 5th spot? Because that's where I put The Return. To be honest, I'd probably put The Return at 5th spot for the same reasons as you've just stated.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we did kind of borrow a lot of ideas from Rose, or at least the opening part of it, from Rose's intro. But yeah, what would you put at number 5? Because what ones do you have left in your 5? Because you have Press the Button, Whiskey Bar, You Can't Leave.
Yeah. The Marathon. And...
Oh yeah, you getting into Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so hard.
I know, right?
Especially because all of my favorite ones just have me, and so it sounds like I've got an ego.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
Well, I mean, you put the game quite low down though, to be honest, and you put make a video very low. So, but anyway, so what's your 4th spot? Or 5th spot, or whatever you have left. Yeah, you got your 5th spot, aren't you?
Might. I think for this one I'll put push the button.
Right. Okay. What's your reasoning? I want to know.
It's like we had lots of jokes in it. It was really funny and stuff, but I just don't know.
Right, yeah.
Probably like, see, I just don't know. Like the top 5, I can't physically think of what order to put them in.
Yeah. Well, so for your top 5, you've got Getting Back into Doctor Who, Press the Button, The Marathon, Whiskey Bar, and You Can't Leave.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So are you putting Press the Button because you?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So what's your number 4th spot? Because I'm going to go with. Now this is where it gets tricky for me, to be honest. Because I have Christmas Lights, Christmas Lights, You Can't Leave, Whiskey Bar, and Getting Back into Doctor Who. Fuck. You see, I don't know. And funnily enough, these 4 films are all by different, helped with different people. Christmas Lights being with John, You Can't Leave with you, Whiskey Bar with Joe, and then Getting Back into Doctor Who with Morgan. I don't know. What's your 4th spot?
So like, cause all of the genres for these ones are different, so it's like
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, that's right, isn't it?
they've all also got a different element to them, which makes them good. But they are 4 unique ones.
So what?
Well, apart from You Can't Leave, that sort of like hits every genre in one.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. What's So what are your 4 that are left? You've got Marathon, Getting Back into Doctor Who, You Can't Leave, and what was the other one? It was
Whiskey Bar.
Yeah, that's right, Whiskey Bar. It's difficult now, isn't it? It's really fucking difficult. I'd probably, if I was forced into a torture chamber and had to give my
I can arrange that.
if I had to give my least favourite out of these 4, I'd have to say Christmas Lights is my 4th favourite, but I am still really fucking proud of it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say I have to put Christmas Lights at my 4th favourite, leaving me with You Can't Leave, Whiskey Bar, and Getting Back into Doctor Who. So, what about you, Kane?
I'm gonna have to go with probably Marathon, because I get what the idea was the whole time.
You've cut out, by the way.
Huh?
You cut out, by the way. You said the Marathon, and then you cut out.
Oh. Yeah, Marathon, because it's I'm trying to work out what I'm trying to say. Hold on.
Cool.
I hate it when you make us rank them. It's like, which ones do you like most? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's like the idea was that it's meant to be more. Not dark is not the word I'm looking.
It's meant to be like horror, but it's meant to be spoof. It's meant to have a mixture.
Yeah, I know, but the only reason it lets it down is because it's
badly made, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
For the time, it was brilliant because I hadn't really made that many short films, but now I've kind of perfected the art of like cameras and shit like that. So it's like it's a bit outdated. I'd say the film is really.
Yeah.
It's still not bad though, like. But I suppose it's the testament to Getting Back into Doctor Who because it only was made a month after the Marathon, and it did so well, and it still holds up in the top 3 in both of our lists, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So now moving on to the top 3 short films. I have You Can't Leave, Whiskey Bar, and Getting Back into Doctor Who. Yours are Getting Back into Doctor Who, Whiskey Bar.
The exact 3.
Oh shit, they are the exact same 3. Fuck. Right. Okay. Now it's fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know now.
Actually, for me, it's made a tiny bit easier.
Right.
For the simple reason is you can't leave. I think we have to go for free. The simple reason is the ending.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Unfortunately,
Because
the ending let itself down.
it did.
If we had more time to actually think of anything better,
For like dialogue
That
wise and shit like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a fucking shame though, because You Can't Leave
Yeah.
was so
Something I was-
good. Up
Yeah,
until
something
that
I was
point.
going to bring up with this one is this one could be used as like a standing point for future things. It's like in a year's time, you go through it and compare it to like the first 90%, the first 9 minutes.
Yeah,
of this,
that's
and
right.
see
Yeah.
how much you've improved.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't
literally, it's
really.
that
Yeah.
last 2 minutes is what is the issue with it.
I know that's the
Apart
problem.
from that, it's
Brilliant. It's brilliant. Apart from
Yeah.
that, I feel like what's so annoying. I don't really want to remake any films, excluding the premise of, well, you make a video. Because it's technically something that we've always done. We've always made a video like that. But I don't really like the idea of remaking You Can't Leave, because it's kind of it's out there. I don't really want to retell the same story, to be honest.
Yeah,
we could
and
make
it won't really it'll lose its meaning because
because
that one has particular meaning.
yeah, because it came out at a specific time and all that, and yeah, it's I think I'd have to agree with you there and say You Can't Leave is at the number 3 spot, leaving Getting Back into Doctor Who and Whiskey Bar at the top 2. So fucking difficult. I think what is tearing me slightly towards Getting Back into Doctor Who is because it's been out longer and it's still holding up against Whiskey Bar.
I'm gonna have to go with that as well.
I don't know though, because I love Whiskey Bar as well.
See, it's annoying. Is you're comparing an orange to a tangerine.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking
Actually, no,
difficult.
tangerine's a bad example.
Tangerine. No.
An orange and an apple.
Yeah, I know.
Like
So
tangerine is like
fucking-
nobody likes tangerines. Why are you comparing them?
Yeah, I know.
Because it's completely different.
Yeah,
Like Whiskey Bar is more serious, and see that one is still a spoof of something, but it's still unique enough.
Yeah, but so is Getting Back into Doctor Who, and Getting Back into Doctor Who was a complete like remake and revamp of the idea that me and Morgan had for the TT Institute trailer. So it isn't an entirely original idea either.
Yeah.
Which is
And it
what
was like
which is what's bloody mad is that you can't.
Morgan's-
What's mad is that You Can't Leave had an entirely original narrative, whereas these two kind of built off of something. These last 2 films, which kind of shows that you can build off of ideas to an extent, but you don't want to rely the film on like an idea or a franchise like The Last Success, or you got what I mean. I don't know. It's fucking difficult.
Getting Back Together is really witty and stuff, and it's like Morgan's performance in it was.
Yeah, it was really good actually, and I do like how I'm not the center stage in Getting Back into Doctor Who, because I feel like that happens a lot in my short films, is that I take the center stage, not on purpose. It's the fact that I know what I want in my short film, and so I end up, acting in it.
Yeah, you selfish git.
No, but Getting Back into Doctor Who, I don't know, because Whiskey Bar's just I can't explain what's so good about Whiskey Bar, but it just is good. I don't know.
Tone, it works a lot.
I don't know. I don't know what's my favourite. I suppose I'm going to have to go with Getting Back into Doctor Who. I feel like that might be my favourite. Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it doesn't really have a strong narrative structure, though. That's what's so... No, I'll say Whiskey Bar.
See,
I'll say
one's
Whiskey
more
Bar.
narrative and one's just funny.
I think I might say Whiskey Bar, to be honest. I think I might just say Whiskey Bar as my favourite. To be honest. Fucking difficult choice.
I seriously can't decide, so I'm just going with basic Kane instinct is like, did you laugh? Like growing up, I would just love comedies and stuff.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
So like getting back into Doctor Who would probably be highest for me.
Fair enough. No, that's fine. So yeah, there are our worst to best, our least favorite to favorite. Little bit of a side, little fun fact here about Press the Button's title. It was originally meant to be called The Button, but I called it Press the Button as a little joke.
Yeah, that's why I keep referring it to as The Button.
Yeah,
because that's all I know it as.
Because that's how we originally wrote it as. We wrote it as The Button.
All for production and stuff. We just know it as, we're going to do some production stuff for The Button.
Yeah, exactly. So Press the Button. I called it that because the whole idea of the film is this one dude over like the intercoms is trying to get this bloke to not press the button, and so I thought it'd be so funny just to call the short film Press the Button, like as like a command, like he pressed the button, and even though the whole film's about not pressing the button. But no, I feel like it's funny, the title. And fun fact, I didn't intentionally, I think we already acknowledged this, but I didn't intentionally call The Last Success with one C, but I decided to leave it as that because it was ironic, because the short film's called The Last Success, even though the title's a failure. As well as that, the title of Whiskey Bar, it's actually spelt the American way, Whiskey Bar, as in EY rather than WHISKY bar, if you know what I mean. It's spelt the American way. It's still authentic. We didn't think of a nice reason behind why we should, spell it that way, but we just did because it's authentic and it looks better that way. But anyway, so that is pretty much it with this very long fucking podcast talking about our short films. Actually, originally, another fun fact here, the Fandom Menace, its working title was actually called Clashing Fandoms. Little fun fact there. Anyway, so that is pretty much it. This podcast has been going on for fucking ages.
2 hours.
Jesus Christ, really? Bloody hell.
Yeah. You can check when the call started.
Bloody hell. Where does it say?
Just read the messages.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. 14 bloody 11. Over 2 hours this has taken. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed this very long podcast. Hopefully this is the first of many podcasts to come of random stuff. Really, I'm glad that you. Hope you enjoyed. I'm glad you did enjoy if you did. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.